One crazy summer. Secret Agent Mother. The Negro lady with a snappy oval bag didn't give us a glance as she click-clacked on by. That was fine with me, although I'd tell Big Ma otherwise if she asked, just to keep her from worrying. I'll make it short and simple. I only get caught if I try to spin too much straw. With both feet safely on ground, Vanessa became her old self, her face shiny and searching. What do we call her? I'd gone over this with Vanessa and Fern many times. I told them long before Papa said we are going to meet her. I told them while we packed our suitcases. Her name is Cecile. That's what we call her. When people ask who she is, you say, she is our mother. Mother is a statement of fact. Cecile Johnson gave birth to us. We became out of Cecile Johnson. And the animal kingdom that makes her our mother. Every mammal on the planet has a mother, dead or alive, ran off or stayed put. Cecile Johnson, animal birth giver, alive and abandoned her, is our mother. Statement of fact. Even in the song we sing when we miss having a mother, and not her but a mother, period. We sing about a mother. Mother gotta go, oh, go now, la 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 la. Never mommy, ma, mama, or ma. Mommy gets up to give you glasses of water in the middle of the night. Mom invites your friends inside when it's raining. Mama burns your ears and hot comb to make your hair pretty for class picture day. Ma is sore and worn out of wringing your wet clothes and hanging them to dry. Ma needs peace and quiet at the end of the day. We don't have one of those. We have a statement of fact. Vanessa, Fern, and I stood next to the young red-headed Squidward dressed as a sign to watch us until Cecile came forward. The Stredness reread the slip of paper in her hand, then eyed at the big clock mouthed by the arrival and departure board, as if she had someplace else to be. She could have left me alone with my sister. I certainly didn't need her. A man in the navy overalls swept garbage off the floor a few feet away from us. He went about his job with no expression, sweeping cigarette packs and gum wrappers into a dump pan, then that he emptied into a large trash can. If I were him, picking after people who carelessly drop stuff on the ground, I'll be nothing but angry. They call it littering when you carelessly drop things. They call the careless folks who drop things by a cute name, litterbug. There's nothing cute but dropping things carelessly. Dropping garbage and having puppies shouldn't be called the same thing. Litter. I had a mind to write to Mrs. Webster about that. Puppies don't deserve to be called a litter. Like they have been dropped carelessly like garbage. And people who litter shouldn't given a cute name for what they do. least the mother of litter sticks around they do. Around and nurses their pups no matter how sharp their teeth are. Merriam-Webster was falling down on the job. Who could she have gotten this wrong? Vanetta asked me again, not because she was anxious to meet Cecile. Vanetta asked again so she could have her routine rehearsed in her head. Curtsy, smile, and greeting, leaving Fern and me to stand around like dumb doo-doos. She was practicing her role as a cute, bouncy pup in the litter, and asking yet again, Delphine, what do we call her? A large white woman came and stood before us, clapping her hands like we are on display of Bonus Zoo. Oh my, what adorable dolls are you, my, she waffled like an opera singer. Her face was moon full of jelly, soft in cheeks and jaw framed by white whiskers. But we said nothing, and so well behaved. Vanetta perked up to out pretty and out behave us. I did as Big Ma had told me in our many talks on how to act around white peoples. I said thank you, but I didn't add the ma'am for the whole. Thank you, ma'am. I never heard anyone else say in a Brooklyn. Only in old movies on TV. And when we drove down to Alabama, people say, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. In Alabama, all the time, the old words were perfectly fine for Big Ma. It just wasn't perfectly fine for me. The lady opened her pocketbook, took out a red leather change purse, and scooted coins around, searching for the right amount for adorable and well-behaved colored dolls. Big Ma would have thought that was grand, but Papa wouldn't have liked it 1 cent. Now it was time to do what Papa told me, see after my sisters. We're not allowed to take money from strangers, I said, dispolite enough to suit Ma, but strong enough to suit Pa. The red-headed Stradwards was appalled by my impudent behavior. But don't you know when someone is being nice to you? I put my dumb doo-doo face and fake not knowing what she meant. What was the scene of making a Stradness stand guard over us and refuse to protect us from strangers? She thought it was all right to have a large white woman drunk at us, to talk to us and buy our attention. We might as well have stood ourselves. I didn't have to sniff my eyes to see mile-long spooks on Vanetta and Fern. I didn't care. We were talking, not taking nothing from no strangers. The lady was all smiles and squeals. Her face shook with laughter. Oh, so and so cute. She put all the nickels in Friend's hand and pinched her cheeks faster than I could do anything about it and was gone. As big as she was, Vanetta grabbed Friend's hand, forced it open, and took her nickel, leaving our two coins in Friend's palm. No use telling them to hand the money over. It was already dreaming of penny candy. I let them keep their nickels and mine. The Stratness re-exclaimed, and the slip of paper she sniffed it from one leg to another, both of my sister and me, and let high heels were bothering her. I looked around the crowd of people pacing and waiting. Papa didn't keep any pictures of Cecile, and I had a sense of her fussy flashes of her always came and went. But I knew she was big, as in tall and hersey colored like mine. I knew I at least had that right. Then something made me look over to my left as a figure standing by the cigarette machine. She moved and moved back, maybe deciding whether to come to us or not. I told the Stratness before it figuring to slip out of an airport. That's her. Fern and Vanetta was excited and scared. They squeezed my hand tight. I could see any thoughts Vanetta had about reciting poetry, tap dancing, and curtsying vanished. She squeezed my hand harder than Fern did. The Stratwards marched us on over to this figure. Once we were there face to face, the Stratwards stopped in her tracks and made herself buried between the strange woman and us. The same Stratwards who let a large woman gawk to us and press money into Fern's hand wasn't so quick to hand us over to the woman. I said that was our mother. I wanted to be mad, but I couldn't say I blamed her entirely. It couldn't have been the way her head over a scarf, big hat tilted down, a kind pasoir with a suit, a pair of man pants. Frank clugged me. Cecile looked more like a secret agent than a mother. But I knew she was Cecile. I knew she was our mother. Are you? The Stratwards, unfurling the crumpled slip of paper. Cecile Johnson. She paused heavily between the first and the last name. Are you these colored girls? Mama. Cecile looked at us, then at the Stratwards. I'm Cecile Johnson. These, she motivated to us, are mine. That was all the Stratwards needed to hear. She dropped the slip of paper on the floor, handed us over, and fled away in her wobbly high heels. Cecile didn't bother to grab any of our bags. She said, "Come on," took two wide steps, and we came. The gap between Cecile and us spread wider and wider. Vanetta spread up but was annoyed that she had to. Fern could only go so fast with her bag in one hand, Miss Patty Cake on the other, and I wasn't going anywhere without Vanetta or Fern, so I slowed down. Cecile finally turned as she got to the glass door and looked to see where we are. When we caught up, she said, "You all have to move if you're going to be with me." "Fern needs help," I told her. When Fern said, "I do not," then Vanetta said, "I need help." Cecile's face had no expression. She whooped down and grabbed Fern's bag handle and said, "You all keep up." She started walking at the same wide steps as before. I took Fern's hand and we all followed. The gap wasn't as wide as when we start out. We first started out, but where was distance between Cecile and my sister and me, wasps easily threatened through and around us. You couldn't see we were together. There was something uncommon about Cecile's. I gloomed onto her. Tall, dark brown woman in a man's pants whose face was half hidden by a scarf, hat, and big dark shades. She was like a colored movie star, tall, mysterious, on the run. Mata Hari is in the airport, except there wasn't any cameras or spies following the colored, broad-shouldered Mata Hari. Only 3 girls trailing her from the sight distance. We followed her outside where green and white cabs lined up. Instead of going to the first cabs in the lines, and Cecile ducked her head and searched every other cab. It was at the 4th cab when she bent down and rapped against the window. The driver, wearing black beret, leaned over, nodded, and unlocked the front door and said something like Zilla, which I guess is short for Cecile in colored Oakland way. Cecile opened the back door. "Come on," I asked. Can we put our bags in the girls? Will you get in the car?" Vanetta and Fern stiffed. Big Ma could be hard. Papa didn't play around, but no one talked to me like that. It was just as Big Ma said. We were going in a boiling pot of trouble cooking. Still, there was no time to soothe my pride. I had to make everything all right for Vanetta and Fern, so they fall in line. I got in first with my bag, pulling Fern in with me while she held on Miss Patty Cake, and Vanetta got in with her bag. Cecile and the cab driver lit up cigarettes as we drove on. At least Papa didn't smoke his versaries in the Wildcat. Vanetta coughed and Fern looked green. I didn't bother to ask what I could not do. I cranked down my window and let the air in. We were quiet, riding along. Gases out to the window at Oakland's to stealing like a Cecile. Before I could get and throughout going about Cecile or Oakland, the cab driver let us not too far from the airport. You live near the airport, Vanessa asked. Cecile didn't ask her. She just said, come on. As we walked, she hid deeper in her hat and shades, like she didn't want anyone to see her with us. Was she ashamed she had 3 girls she left behind and had not explained? Who are these girls? Yours? Why don't they live with you? Don't expect no pity from us. We were asked the same questions in Brooklyn. Where's your mom? Why don't she live with you? Is it true? She said. Cecile placed her suitcase on the bench of the bus stop and sat down. Where are you taking? Why are we taking the bus? Vanessa asked. Why didn't the cab take us? I shushed Vanessa just to keep Cecile from saying anything mean. But my Timex, the bus came in 4 minutes. Cecile made us got on first and said, go all the way to the back and sit down. When we found seats, Cecile was still with the bus driver, arguing with him. 10 and under rides for free, she said. Now give me 4 transfers. I had been 11 for a good while, standing tall, but I said to Vanessa and friend, if anyone asks, I'm 10. Vanessa folds her arms. Well, I'm still 9. I'm not going back to 8. Vern says I'm staying 7. I shushed them both, and Lota good it didn't it for the bus driver hearing us from getting our age straight. Tell the truth, it was Cecile I worried about, not the driver. We didn't have to stay with the bus driver for the next 28 days. I had to stay with Cecile.